It's so interesting how innovation and disruption are kind of the sexy terms of the day. They have been for a few years. And it's wonderful to talk about them when it feels very safe and not disruptive. And so there's an irony there. It's the innovator's dilemma, of course, that success isn't always the greatest teacher. And once having fought our way into a solid position and we've risked so much to get there, creating more risk by swinging for the fences isn't necessarily the most natural act. And so here you bring that DNA to this company and have an ethos around wanting to try new things and to connect with customers in new ways, to reach out to communities and learn more from them, and to contaminate an organization, make them feel safe with that. What were some of the steps you had to take to allow people to fail, frankly, or the inconvenience and the messiness?
I think, organizations are living, breathing people in a sense.
Yeah.
And they've developed a set of reactions, right, based on the feedback they've been getting, right? It's that pattern that we all get stuck in. And I think that's why certain companies that get on the pattern just keep doing it because they're self-reinforcing.
Yes.
And, I think building those self-reinforcing muscles takes time. For me, one of the first frameworks I brought in was the concept from Google of 70-20-10. You spend 70% of your time on things that are going to deliver results over the next year. 20% of your time is on things that can work kind of a year to 2 years, and 10% of your time on things that are kind of bigger shots, but they're against a big target, but they have a lower probability of success. That really helped people realize I kind of have to plan to grow. Like the reason why those companies grow at a higher rate is they actively plan to always see around the corner. They're not managing quarter to quarter or plan to plan. They're thinking about momentum. And so I think that helped people, and I think they quickly grabbed it. But I think there's a difference between taking the framework and then building in the processes to enable that to happen. Because what really happens is in the 70, this is what I'd call the 10 percenters, right, that add up. It's all the stuff you do in your core business to make the customer experience a little bit better, the onboarding a little bit better, the retention a little bit better. And what that does is you take your core business engine and that just keeps getting a little bit better and a little bit more profitable. And then that funds, right, the 20s and the 10s. And I think it's hard for people to really get their mind around how you think about all the little stuff here, and then these things on the other side have to be bigger. They have to aim at bigger targets. They have to be more transformational, because when it takes longer, if you're not moving, right, a bigger step forward, then you're actually not truly creating that. And if those have to scale to fill in a gap, for growth, and it's a whole new muscle and mindset you have to build through the executive ranks down into the organization. And so I think we've made really good progress on that. But I think as a leader, we always underestimate, no matter how, thoughtful we are, how many great places we've worked. I think every leader underestimates the time it takes to build these new competencies through an organization, and that people's readiness to accept them and then their ability to actually execute that in their day-to-day is another step of the journey. And so I think as leaders, we always want to be bold and have these visions. And then there's this balance between the reality of this organism that is the company and how it learns to ride those new bikes, and how everyone learns to do that together and feel the confidence to do it together.